All right, in this one, I want to make sure that this software is right for you, so you don't waste your time with something that may not be what you're looking for. So I'm going to launch the program. I'm going to give you a quick demo of the overall high level, how it works type of thing. So right here, this is an accounts dropdown. You can have as many accounts as you want. Over here in the left, this is the campaign tree area. And then we have these different features up here at the top in the ribbon. There's only one tab, and these are literally all the features. You can manage accounts. Right now, there's the default account by default. That's why it's called default. And then we go into the settings. So you can generate, when you group keywords, that's where these settings come in. You can use word stemming. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. But this is just features to help you group your keywords. This is a stop words list. So stop words are words that are very common within the language that you are speaking in or creating these campaigns from. For English, a good example would be to, of, as, for, is, as, that kind of thing. Those are very common and they have very little meaning when you're doing keyword grouping, usually. Not always, but usually. So then we use these settings to really drive the keyword grouping process. So let me go ahead. I'm going to just create some keywords here. And again, I'm not going to go into detail about what this is. So let's say we were doing insurance of some kind. Insurance. And let's just, off the top of my head, car, boat, motor, cycle, home. Let's leave it at that. Insurance. And then we might say in, and then we might use this drop-down list of cities, let's say. And then let's generate some keywords. So we just generated a bunch of keywords. This is a keyword combination tool. And then let's say we do it without the in. So we'll basically deselect that and then generate the keywords. Okay, so now it just generated the in version and without the in. Okay. Now we can pass these keywords to this keyword list here. I call this the main keyword list. What we want to do is group them. So we click this analyze, and what it does is it looks for similar word groupings. And it does this by looking at the keyword frequencies. So not surprising, insurance, since it's in every single keyword, there's 2,104 instances of that. This also shows you the keyword count down here, but we just want to group these. So what's the best way to group these? We could just say boat, car, home, and motorcycle insurance with all the cities. That's one way. Or we could actually group it by the city. So how would we actually do that? Well, we could just go back here. We could copy these cities that we had. We could go back here and we could use this keyword grouper tool. Now you could add your own themes. So if we add those cities and we say, okay, they're all added here and we say next. So now it's going to group these different types of insurances by their city. We say finish and watch what happens. Over here we have a list of cities and inside. So now we're so remember we started the keywords tab. We went to the settings. We made sure it was what we wanted. We didn't really dive deep into it. Now we're at the grouper tab. We just grouped all of the keywords by the city name. Now we're at the groups tab. So this is a refinement part. What we want to do, we could add a few variables. So custom 1, 2, and 3. That just helps when we go and generate the ads. So instead of saying, Akron as the ad group name, we could say Akron Insurance, for example. And we could put that here. And you can copy these out. We could just select them all, hit copy, and then when we go and add groups, we could paste it in. So if I do paste texts, you can see it'll paste whatever you modify it to be. So you can paste it in and out of Excel really quickly, and that's a really powerful feature of this. But we're not going to go into detail again. I won't keep saying that. But here we go. This is for Bakersfield. And we could have even added states if we wanted to. but we didn't. Here we go. This is a Bakerfield ad group. These are the keywords within it. So that is how you generate a bunch of ad groups very quickly, just as an overview. And if this is like overwhelming to you, it doesn't have to be complicated like the way I'm kind of demoing right now. It can be as simple or as complex as you need. So if you didn't want to, do all that, you wanted to group them manually, you definitely could. You have control over that. But here, this is the ads section. So we could create multiple ads. So if we say new ad, a new ad appears. If, you can move this bar up and down here. So Google Ads updated their ads to have up to 3 headlines now. I believe the third is optional, I can't remember. But we have description 1 and 2 also updated. So this program is, at least as of May 2019, currently updated. If that changes, we may make changes as well. So what you can do is use these ad group names. So check this out. So if we had the ad group name is a city, right? So we could say ad group. And what if the ad group name is too long though? We have 30 characters for the headline. We could add a default text here. So we could say, instead of the city name, let's just say save on. That could be the default text. And we hit OK. So it creates this placeholder. This placeholder will generate the actual ad group name in it if it doesn't exceed the character limits. So let me delete this ad here. I just want to start with an easy example. And we could just say, I don't even know. I didn't even practice this. So something here, headline 3, we'll put, let's rename this campaign. We're going to rename it to insurance. So now we can use actually the city name or the ad group name and the campaign name. So check this out. We say campaign. We won't even have a default. We'll just leave it as is. And then right in front of it, we're actually going to put the ad group name. So you can copy and paste these things too. So what that's going to do is generate the city name and then the word insurance, because that's what the campaign name is. And then for the description, you have, I don't know, what is 80 or 90? Can't remember. It's built into the program, so you don't need to remember. So it looks like 90, okay? Okay, 91 is too long. We'll copy, paste that, and then we're gonna add, I mean, how would you use this for real? You would basically say, save on, and we could put campaign name, insurance, so that'll say save on insurance in, and then we could say the ad group name, and then the default, and we could say your area. And again, I've never actually actually I did build paid search campaigns for insurance, but definitely not in my memory banks right now. So we have that, and then path 1 and path 2, you can also use these custom parameters, but here you can replace it with a dash. So this is how you tell, what to do with the spaces. If Ann Arbor has Ann space Arbor, how do you handle that? So we'll put the ad group here, and we will say replace the space with a dash. And if it's too long, we're just going to say, oh well. So that's what that kind of syntax looks like. And then finally, the final URL. You could hard code this, or you could get it from the groups tab here. There's this final URL section that's referenced by looking at this group URL. We're not going to do that. And the reason you do that is because you can have different ad groups for different URLs for each ad group. So you might want to go through here and say, okay, we have an actual landing page for Abilene. We have an actual landing page for Akron. Those are not the same. So we would want 2 different ones. And then when you go and generate your ads, they generate right here. That's kind of the idea. Or you can hard code it. So we'll just say HTTPS insurance.com. Okay, so we have our first ad. Let's click this generate ads button. It just generated all those ads. Now notice in description line 2, save on insurance in Abilene, Akron, Albuquerque, and so on. there you go. So we just generated our campaign. The headline is the name of the city. Obviously, you will want to make it make sense. So insurance in whatever, kind of like this headline 3, Abilene Insurance. So the overall high level idea is you could use your campaign name and your ad group name as variables to insert into the ads. That is the overarching idea, and not just the campaign and ad group name. You see, we have this custom 1, 2, and 3. So if you want to have custom text and you want to generate it and you want to do it in Excel and make sure, LEN and it's less than 30 characters, less than or equal to, before you upload it in, you can do that. That's the way I would recommend doing it. And then finally, we have our campaign. Let's click Generate Campaign. Now, if you are a previous customer of PPC Campaign Generator, you might notice that the Bing Ads section has gone away. The reason is it's no longer needed. And another question I get a lot is like, okay, I generated my results. Where are my ads? This whole thing here is like a bulk file. That's the way you should think about it. There's campaign, ad group, keyword, criterion type, max CPC, headline 1, 2, and 3, description line 1, line 2. And there's actually more columns, but we're just not going to go through it. So the ads are down here. This is where the ads are. And notice that there's no data in the keywords columns, but there is data in the ads columns, wherever there's ads. So you don't have to worry about it, really. If you had negatives, also you can add negatives, by the way. You can add negatives here on the grouper tab, and that'll appear on this negative keyword area. But anyways, if you had those, they would appear here. But you don't have to worry about like, oh, I don't see this, I don't see that. All you have to worry about is just copy. Select all. Control C. I'm on a Windows machine. Obviously, this is for Windows campaigns. We open up Google Ads Editor. So it's all copied to my memory in my computer right now. We open up Google Ads Editor. I have to fix something here, 1 second. Okay, I'm going to pull over Google Ads Editor. We have this filter on here. Now, we go up into Account. We go into Import. And we're just going to paste the text. Then we have this Make Multiple Changes. You hit Paste from Clipboard. There it is. We hit Process. So that is going to upload our campaign right here into Google Ads Editor. From here, you just have to give it a campaign budget. So that's really your call. And there's a reason that it's not hard-coded into PPC Campaign Generator, because that's really a decision up to you. And I don't want to be responsible for, something accidentally happening there. So if we give it a budget here, we'll just say $5. Realistically, you're not going to spend $5 on insurance campaigns. There you go. We still see an error here. Let's see what the problem is. We go into ads, we sort this. So we have a problem with the lines being too long. So you can modify that if you want to. So these are probably cities with really long names. Where do we see the problem? It's with path 1 here. And it's mainly with path 1 because you only get 15 characters. So then you would just go through here. You could remove the dash or replace it with something else, or you could have added a default text in that case within PPC Campaign Generator. So hopefully this gives you a good idea of what this program is, how it can be used to generate search campaigns for Google Ads and Bing Ads, and how you can finish it and upload it and get started immediately with it. So if you're interested, keep watching. I'm going to go into the more finer details of this program and help you really understand it in depth.